Hey guys, welcome back to Maverick's Arcade. My name is Chuck, and today we are taking our GPiCase, our little handheld device, and we are going to try Recalbox on it. So again, we just finished testing RetroPie. My complaints about it are that you have to be a little more technical to use it because you have to sometimes change your render settings. You sometimes have to change, or you have to go through the text and you have to hit launch, and it's just not as polished. It's not as smooth for a non-computer literate person. So if I was going to give this to someone like my dad who's not computer literate, it would cause some problems. So I want it to be as smooth as possible, as idiot-proof as possible, and so we'll just start right off. And the way we are going to begin is go to the website, www.recalbox.com, and just click here for download Recalbox. Now, we're doing the GPiCase, and inside the GPiCase has Raspberry Zero, so this is a download we would need. And again, they recommend using Etcher to do the install. There's also a Windows one you can do, but Etcher is preferred. So I got that right here on my desktop. And what you'll do is run that. And you're going to select the image that you're going to put onto the card, and it's Recalbox, the one we downloaded previously. And then you're going to select your card, which will be the micro SD card, and then you'll hit flash. Now, this process takes a little bit long, so we're going to go ahead and just skip past that. Alright, so now that our micro SD card has been flashed, there is one thing I wanted to make sure to show you. So first we'll go ahead and close the etcher. But I want you to be aware that when you remove the card, and then next time you put it back in your PC, you're going to get a warning about having to format a partition. And that is because one of the partitions is not visible to Windows. So the boot drive you can see, but the other drive, it's going to ask you if you want to format. Because it's Linux, you can't read it. So hit cancel. That is unless you on your own have installed a ext4 reader app. So anyway, we're now going to take that card out of our reader. We're going to take it out of the adapter. And we are going to look down at our top-down view. We're going to look here. We're going to put this back into our card. We're going to start up our RetroPie. Or we're going to remove our RetroPie card from here. And I'm keeping that so I can compare and contrast, and also because some saved games I have are on the other card. And if you are going to be switching cards, be careful not to lose these. They're so tiny, it's very easy to. So then what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to our secondary camera I've got set up over here. Now, excuse the lights, it is a little bit bright over here. But we're going to plug that in, and we're going to plug in our power cord for our Game Boy, our GPiCase. I'm going to power this on and show you what it looks like when it's first loading after install. Looks also like I should probably blocking my focus, but it is, as you can see, trying to install the case. Alright, so it's now working. Now, you may hear some fuzzy, weird noises coming from the device. And unfortunately, that's very possible because it's, the electronics are exposed right to the analog. And it may very well get picked up. Just, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. Don't know why, but that's just the way things happen. So these are all some homebrew games that come installed by default. And now what we're going to do is we're going to look at our menu. And We're going to look for, so we got Dragon Blaze, got game settings. Now, if you have performance issues, you may want to shut off this rewind feature, because that allows you to rewind the game. The problem is it's tracking the progress of the game. So with the Pi Zero, the performance is pretty limited anyway, so you may want to shut off that rewind feature. I'm not going to do net play at the moment. As you can see, it automatically knows that the keyboard is here. Now this is different than the original version I tried. So what I'd like to do now is let's see if we can get the network setting. Actually, no. Alright, so after a little bit of work, I was able to get the wireless working on my system. I have a complicated network and it was rejecting it. But the way you set up the wireless network is you hit select. Not select. We go down to close. We hit the start button. We go down to network settings. We hit the A button, or I'm sorry, it's still flipped around. We hit network settings, and we go down to enable Wi-Fi, make sure it's on. We go to SID, and then select our wireless network, and then we go to Wi-Fi key, we put in our key. Once we do that, then it will say, wireless connected. Then on Windows, you'll be able to use the IP address to connect directly to your device. So you can see here, we'll remove this for now. And you can see our window here. So we're doing a ping. I made sure it was working. And then you can do // 192.168.60.103. We're going to open that up and you can see here's all the files for the device. Then we can look over here at my external drive connected for some of the games. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into ROMs. I'm going to go into the Atari 2600. I'm just going to dump the ROMs straight to that location. It's copying all those over now. Now this obviously would be a lot quicker with if you did it directly from the file system to the file system instead of over a wireless network. One thing I have done to facilitate that is take a Raspberry Pi device, a normal device, and then I put a micro SD card reader like this one directly onto here, and then the external drive on there as well, and that allowed it to copy at a much more efficient speed. Be careful about doing that though, because you'll have to modify the permissions of the files, and then that makes it a little bit more funky. So we're now going to refresh this and verify that that's where the files are now existing, and it is. So we're just going to grab a couple of files this time. Alright, so that's how we can copy the games through the normal method. Now this part is taking way too long, and it's getting very frustrating. So what we're going to do instead is we are now going to flip over, and we're going to hook up that the Raspberry Pi. We're going to transfer the rest of our games that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the memory cartridge out of the Game Boy, or the GPiCase, and we're going to take our adapter, and we're going to throw that on there. Now this Raspberry was a little kit. It already had noobs on a card ready for me, so that, and it's running the Raspbian desktop, and that's on the card that's built into put into the Raspberry Pi already. Our GPiCase card is going to go into my card reader, and that's going to plug into the Raspberry Pi using USB. Then we're going to grab our capture card. And we're going to take our external drive. Alright, so as you can see on the desktop here, let's get back to our main scene. So as you can see on our desktop here, we have our Raspbian plugged into our external drive and the card reader. And then little keyboards here. And then I gotta grab the HDMI cable and plug that in it's plugged into my capture card. And then of course we just need the power cord for the Raspbian. I gotta find where that plug is on this thing again, right there. So as that's powering up, let's switch over to our capture card. And we're loading up our Raspbian. You have to wait a sec. There you go. So we now have our Raspbian loaded. And I'm going to go back to the movie theater scene to give me a little more room. Let me see if I can get the capture card to show up on this side. Shut down the top-down view, and there we go. So there's our Raspbian. And I got to use my little keyboard here. So I'm going to look at my drives. And I'm going to go down to... We're going to shrink this under. Now, if we're going to be doing this as well, what we want to do is we want to open up our console here. And we're going to install a couple utilities onto our Raspbian here to make this a little more simple to configure for us. And what we're going to do is we're going to go sudo app get install gparted. That's right, I've already got it installed. I already installed that, and I also installed a disk application. So what that's going to allow me to do is I'm going to check, and I keep trying to use the wrong mouse. Sorry about that. So under my accessories, I have discs, so I can look at the volume size. You see now it's actually, let's look at this card. So as you can see, the share now is occupying the full 29. When I tested this before, it did not actually take up all the space, so that's good. So we have Recalbox, and then we have this share, which is filling up most of our space, and that's where all the files are being stored. So now we're going to go down to the bottom here. We're going to look for Media, High. We have the share folder. And then in the share folder, we have ROMs. And you can see where we were at. We were at the Game Boy. It's got a bunch of ROMs in here. Now we're looking at the Game Boy Advance. Because remember, this was taking forever. And now we're going to go look at new window here. We're going to shrink this up. We're going to go to our H drive. So we're going to close share over here. And then here we have our HD drive. And in there, we're going to go into Game Boy Advance here. We go into the ROMs here. And we're going to edit. Okay, so it is still Control A over here. We're going to bring this over here. I'm going to drop it straight into GBA. And it's going to say overwrite. So the issue that we're having here is it's not allowing us permissions denied on there. So what's happening here is that this system is alien to the OS running here. So we're going to do two commands. We're going to go into our terminal. Oops, excuse me. And we're going to, I guess to make it more simple, we will just go here and grab most of this path. And then over here, we're going to do sudo, wrong keyboard, sudo space chmod. We're going to make it recursive. And we're going to give it full permissions. And we're going to do, we're going to try to paste the path from before, but we want it to be all of the ROMs. We're going to hit enter. And now we're going to try that copy operation again. See if it works. I want to try not to change the ownership at this point, unless it doesn't work. So under GBA for Game Boy Advance, we're going to try to drop that. And that may have already, yep. As you can see, it was taking a long time before. Now, poof, it's done. Alright, so what I'm now expecting, I'm going to go ahead and eject this drive. Let's see. We're ejecting this share. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and eject that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and move this whole Raspberry deal to the side. Get that out of here. And we're going to take our card out and put it back inside here. In our little card, we're going to pop that back in here, and we're going to turn back on our camera over here to see what's going on this thing without knocking our keys everywhere. Alright, so like last time, we flip this on. Now I expect it'll take a little bit longer to start up this time, only because all the other games is now having to inventory and verify are there or not to present for the menus. Recalbox. And let me adjust and fix that focus so that it stays focused. That is awfully distracting. So as you can see, Recalbox is loading right now. And of course there's only one game there. Let's turn up the volume here. So it's seeing a bunch of games there. A bunch of Game Boy Advance, Color, Sega, Geo, PC Game Engine. This is where it's seeing the TurboGrafx, Doom. This is where it's showing all the Genesis games. Nintendo. Okay, so that was a homebrew. So let's check on Game Boy. We're going to launch all the way down here. We're going to hit start and jump to T. And once we get there, we're going to go ahead and hit the button. And then we can scroll down. Again, there's a bunch. Tetris World. Let's try and load it. Now this is not doing the green emulation of the original, which I actually do kind of like in the other one. So let's see if we can go. And again, you use select and start to get out of that game.
Yes?
Go upstairs. So I'm now looking to see. So we're going to go ahead and back out of here. And we're going to back out of here. We're going to hit start. We're going to look at the system settings. We're going to look at... We're looking for... Well, first let's see if the UI settings. Can I swap those buttons? No. Sound settings, scraper, advanced settings. We're looking for Game Boy. And let's see if there is a... You can download other options. Looks like that's the only one. Oh, no, there's a bunch. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at the different options of the games, but in any case, let's see. Let's give a couple of more a shot. Back out with this, and then let's check Nintendo. Let's do check Airwolf. Again, it's much cleaner. I'm not being asked. This is way quicker than the other one was. Way faster than the other emulator. There's a bunch of different games there. Let's look at Sonic. Definitely speeds up after a while. QRS. Yeah, and before, just scrolling through some of this would crash the entire emulator. So, I mean, just scrolling through, you can see this thing's not crashing like the other one did yet. Knock on wood. Sonic Hedgehog. So it looks like this was a mixture. Give it a try, though. Do I get to pick? How's that work? That's funny. They had detection on that game. See if this one does it. Okay. Interesting. So the first one said new. Where's a regular Sonic? Ah, here we go. Sonic the Hedgehog. And how do I make this a favorite? Just hit that button. Oh, now it's got a little symbol next to it. That didn't happen before. That's kind of neat. I like it. Let me hit this button. Let's see if it loads this time. That's a much better sign. Let's see. What's the speed response on this side? Oh wow, this is way faster than the other emulator, or the other system would run too. And the quality of the image is way crisper. I mean, everything about this is way better than the other system was already. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. And there was no prompt. I didn't have to answer any prompts. So this is definitely more of a solution I'm looking for my dad. Alright, so let's check. A, B, C, D. Okay, so Donkey Kong Country. Oh. Competition edition, okay. So I'll launch this. Okay, so the problem is this does not feel right for the buttons don't feel right. Ah. Okay, it's correct and it's quick. And it has save states. So, okay, so that's good. Now, I mean, everything about this looks amazing. So that, so anyway, with this version, then when you shut it off, it actually does not shut off yet. It does a safe shutdown script, and then it shuts itself off. So, in any case, I understand this was a long video. We went through a lot of various issues that I was experiencing, and but yeah, so that is, I mean, right now my initial impression is this is a much cleaner system. It's much smoother. There's no sort of asking the user any questions. It's just navigating through the menus. This would definitely be something I'd feel much more comfortable giving to somebody that is not technically proficient. So, let me know if you guys have found nicer versions of the software to run on these things. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think. Tell me what your favorite games are and what you'd like to see in future videos. So take it easy, and we will see you guys very soon. Make sure to check out the links above for some of my other videos, and definitely smash that subscribe button. Also, make sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any episodes. I'm continually trying to grow this channel, so make sure to like, comment, and share on all your favorite social media platforms. To find more content for this channel, check out the following locations. YouTube is the primary location where I publish the final versions of my how-to videos. I use Facebook for communication, notices about upcoming videos, behind-the-scenes pictures and videos, and the occasional live stream. For live streams, I primarily use Twitch, as it generally provides the least latency for the closest to real-time response rate currently available. I will occasionally multicast to Facebook and Twitch at the same time, but Twitch generally seems to have the least delay, so I prefer it for streaming events. And as always, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.